like that.
Whoa!
Oh, hang on, Brittany! Brittany's car smokes the tires, gets sideways, crosses the center line, pancaked the left wall, came back across the track, and it has come to a stop down at the far end. The safety safari on the scene. When Terry Haddock smoked the tires, the first thing I thought was no, and moments later, that was the best thing I've seen so far today, because he wasn't there when she came across the racetrack and smacked into the left wall. A crazy ride for Brittany Force in the Monster Energy car. Her mom or dad down on the starting line. The safety safari right there on the scene. And we'll just wait until we get the official word.
Steve Torrance. Steve Torrance wins the race, but more importantly, we got to make sure he's okay inside of the cockpit.
Well, let's look for some movement. We see some movement from the helmet, and this is good news that Steve is getting out of the car.
Steve, we're extremely happy that you're okay, and you hopped out and you still wanted to know if you won the round. Was there any warning?
No, there was no warning. I mean, I felt the thing actually drop the tire or whatever happened and just make a hard left, and then it's just hit the wall and scoot me to the other side. Bottom line, good Lord was looking after me, and hardest thing about the whole deal is my mom and dad coming down here. But, and all my guys, you know, we're family. We got another race car. We're going to get it out and see if we can make it up for the next round. And good Lord looked after us, kept us safe there. Hell, Texas boys, we just keep going.
Oh, massive explosion from Tony Schumacher. Clay Millican goes low elapsed time, grabs the 4 bonus points for that. But that was a destructive moment captured via the Lucas Oil chopper. That flame was huge.
Well, this is a massive concussion right there, and you can see the damage occurred before the engine blew. So there's a good chance that it was something in the drivetrain, not necessarily anything in the valve train, because that car lost power, and a split second after that is when you saw the explosion.
Let's go on board, ride along with Tony Schumacher and experience it. Wow. Big time concussion, big time fireball, massive destruction. Unbelievable moment for Tony Schumacher. Yeah, Indy may be his place for the 10 wins, but with an explosion like that, it'll be a long time before we get what just
rising to the occasion. That may or may not be good, but no pressure. This race, in terms of performance, quite the toss-up. Both these cars well into the low 380s the previous round.
Courtney runs out of steam in the champ. Hammers on with a busted race car. Hold on tight.
Robert's on the brakes right now. You can hear it. Carrying a lot of momentum into that sand trap.
So a scary moment for Robert Height. Has problems crossing the finish line. Good news is he climbs out despite a car that slid all the way through the sand trap, went up against the catch net. The question now becomes, will that man, that team, the champions, be able to make it back to the funny car final? relieving themselves after seeing the video of Robert Height climbing out on the big screen. Not sure what happened. Jimmy Brock's tune-up there. Let's face it, these are 10,000 horsepower cars. Things can and do go wrong with them all the time. It looks like all the safety equipment did exactly as it was supposed to for Robert.
During the course of the run, it appeared that Robert didn't have any issues. It was at the finish line where it didn't seem like there was any warning signs.
No,
but the motor lets go. You can see Courtney Forrest, she's out of the race. Left side of your screen, Robert Height right there, right at the finish line. But oddly enough, when it explodes, typically we'll see a backfire. It'll knock the supercharger off and it'll release the burst panels that are just on the outside of the injector. But this is a very big explosion. No parachute. You know he was on the binders. You can hear the tires squealing. He was right at the limits because at the point the car starts to bounce, that means he's heavy on the brakes. And Bruno, we talked about this earlier with Tommy Johnson. When the car starts to bounce, all of a sudden you're losing that contact surface with the racetrack. So let's look at Robert. Let's see if we can see anything odd before it explodes.
That is a great point, though, Tony Pedregon. Both Tommy Johnson Jr. and Robert Height found the kitty litter today.
You know, the thing is, usually when the motor explodes right here, it sets off the pressure system, the pan pressure, and it's supposed to throw out those chutes at this point. And it was so late before those chutes came out. He was almost past the 1320 before it looks like the chutes even came out, and only one of them deployed at that point. At that point, it actually never even had a chance to blossom, and it was him grabbing as much handbrake as he could, actually skidding the car into that sand trap where he went all the way up to the net.
Great job of trying to turn the car to scrub some speed here before taking it into the kitty litter. There, that chute finally blossoms, and perhaps the best news ever was Courtney wasn't anywhere around that. Let's take a ride, look, listen, experience what Robert Height just went through. But as we said, good news is Robert able to climb out. Robert is now with Amanda.
Robert, you were just talking to your team owner, John Force, and you said you have no clue why it pulled so far to the left when it blew up. What did you experience inside your funny car?
Well, when it blew up, it was almost like it blew a front tire or something, because it made a hard left and the body was kicked up on it. And so the right side of the body where the parachutes were, I couldn't reach them. So I went for them twice. That's why it was so late getting the chutes out. But man, I've never, all I was worried about was where's Courtney. Did not want to hit that advanced car. But I didn't even know we won or anything else. I've never been in the sand.
body hit my helmet because it just made a little mark.
One of those surprise guys that hasn't won. He's also the defending Traxxas winner. Oh! Big explosion! Jack Beckman just destroyed a Mopar body.
Okay down there, Jack? I'm good. I'm good.
Great news as you listen to the onboard communications between Jack and his team. He's good. He climbs out okay, but that sedan became a drop-top convertible very, very quickly. Tony, you've been through your fair share of fires and things like that. Didn't look like there was even an inkling of an idea that this was going to happen.
Well, most of the time, 8 times out of 10, it's going to be something in the valve train. What happens is that any debris or any breakage that holds that intake valve open, well, all of that combustion is going back up. It's going to ignite in the intake manifold, and the majority of this looks probably a lot worse than it was. You see Jack Beckman trying to brake. You got the parachutes out. He's doing the right thing, but that body was destroyed. The concussion, Jack will be feeling the effects, and you can see that supercharger come off the car, but fortunately the NHRA and a lot of these teams have taken measures to really restrain and contain a lot of that damage, and that's probably one of the worst explosions that I've seen in a long time.
Look at that car, pieces and parts. Jack's hands are off right now. He's reaching for a brake. You know, Jack Beckman's been through a lot as an Air Force veteran, cancer survivor, and he just went through a big one. Right,
well, you can see Jack is moving his hands. What he's doing is a conditioned response. He has done this so many times over and over. He knows where the fuel shutoff is. He knows where the brake is. He knows to turn the electronics off on the car. So he's going through all of the motions, and it's sheer instinct that he has conditioned himself to do.
Did the top of that supercharger flip all the way under the car? And where's the manifold? I have never seen an explosion like that.
Well, what's amazing at all the
right
forces
and
the massive explosion, that none of that debris went into the driver compartment. So to see a guy like Jack Beckman get out of this car is a tribute to all the safety precautions and measures that NHRA has taken, and we've evolved with these